Hi all, Bones here from BSA Bantams, and welcome back to my workshop, welcome back to the channel. In this episode, I will start but getting together all the bits I need for the BSA M20 that I'm going to rebuild. So there's a few things concurrently on the go. I've just ordered some a local sheet metal workshop to bend up some channel for me so I can make a chain guard for the Jawa, and I was going to pull up a Z250 Kawasaki to do a restoration on. However, I have a friend who's a paddle beater spray painter, and I do a bit of work on some of his bikes, and he's offered to blast and spray paint 2 bikes for me. So I'm getting stuff together for him to do that. I have parts of the M20 on order that are about to arrive, and I have parts here. So basically I'll take you through and show you what bits I've already got together, and I'm going to start selecting a frame and bringing those up and seeing what I've actually got. It's my wife working away on her outdoor area. So just going in the other side where the bikes are, in these boxes here I've got mudguards, and there's a fuel tank in there, and a lot of these parts were purchased a while ago, sort of in anticipation of this day. Up here, new carb exhaust, and there's down tucked in the corner there is the engine I'm going to use. So I've just got to get these bikes out of the way and get the trolley, because I've got a snowflake's chance in hell of lifting that on my own. Yeah, we'll get that around to the other side into the workshop. Yeah, there's a bit of stuff in here. That's all old Rover, 1912, 1915 Rover. And some of these bits in, all those tubs down there. Another project one day. Sun to right on my face, off my face. So I think I explained earlier on in previous maybe episodes and just before that I have accumulated a bit of M20 stuff in the past, and when I was in business with my brother, we actually purchased some items before we split the business up. I bought him out. So I haven't actually had a look at any of this stuff. So for a motorcycling enthusiast, this is like Christmas, opening presents. So we did get tinware from India. So obviously with the Indian made stuff, some of it's actually pretty good, some of it's crap. So I have to build the bike up and make sure all this tinware fits, and if I've got to drill holes that they align and all that sort of stuff. But well, that's the tank. God. And that actually looks reasonably well built, I reckon. It's heavy. I'm just looking inside for rust and the like, but it's painted inside, which I'm not entirely happy about. Shit. I would put a tank liner in that, but I don't think you can put it over paint, and I think that's going to be a bit of a job getting that out. She might be some paint stripper and a fair bit of cleaning there, but anyway, other than that, the actual tank itself looks pretty good. However, we'll see how good it is once we get it on the bike. The old, the push bike pump mounts are a little bit ordinary, but we can dress those up. But generally, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. and it's not rusty. So that's a good one. Right. I'll be back in a sec. I'm just going to put this on the shelf over there. Okay, next item on the agenda is the guards. I'm actually hoping they got stays with these. I can't remember if they did or they didn't. They have. Very good. So that's all our mudguard stays there. They look okay. Yeah, they look okay. I've got to work out why this has got a bigger sleeve on one side than on the other. That's on your rear, sorry, that's your front mudguard stay. So I don't know why they've done that. I'll have to have a look at the parts list and see if they've done that for a purpose. Failing that, it's 1/2 inch tube and I can make one of these myself. But the rest of it looks alright. What are you doing, Melly? You thinking you're a bloody cattle dog, are you? You're mad, dog, you're mad. So, obviously, in one of my front paddocks, I got all these lockers. They were actually going to be thrown out to the, or they were going to be thrown to the tip. And a mate called me up and said, "Mate, do you want these?" I said, "Absolutely." So what Levi and I have done, you can see Levi's riding, is all that stuff I purchased. All that stuff I purchased a couple of weeks ago, we'd basically put it in here, so we can go through and it's all different stuff in here. Gearboxes. It's a bit dark in here, my apologies, but that's just the way it goes. So I will go through all of this stuff, frame sitting up there and the girder forks, and I'll drop them in the back of the trailer and I'll take them back up to the house. So I'll go fossicking through here. A few Bantam frames hanging up there. And that's a bit more Bantam stuff. So I've had the paddock residents being inquisitive about what I'm doing, but here's all the stuff we've got. I'm not sure about the oil tanks, that's why I'm taking all those up, and I'll get these up to the house. Shit, I didn't think. So this is our little haul from down the front shed. So frame obviously forks over the back. Gearbox, and I didn't realise I had a set of rear gearbox slash engine mounts, but I have because I've got some on order. Primary drive cover, toolbox, 3 oil tanks because I'm not sure which one is an M20 and I'll have to find out. There's an inner primary cover in there as well. Battery, oh, battery box. Oh, that's another primary cover. Yeah. Right, I've just had a look at my parts book and I don't think any of those tanks are actually M20. So I'll have to get my hands on a tank. I don't think it'll be too disastrous. So my exhaust issue is resolved because I grabbed out the wrong muffler. This is the M20 muffler, and yes, it does fit in perfectly. So we've got that bit done and all squared away. All right, if you're wondering what this is my penetrating mixture, and it's the best stuff I've ever used. And what it is a mixture of 50% acetone and 50% automatic transmission fluid. So I'm just going to go around all the different fasteners, give it a squirt of this, and I'll be doing that over the next couple of days. That's why I've got this up on the welding bench, because obviously got acetone in it and any painted surface it won't light. So I've got other stuff on order, and that should be arriving, I'm going to say, the end of this week. So, and when it does, well, I'll show you what I've got in there as well. But I'll go around and do this. However, the first thing I've spotted is this rear frame section's, well, not as good as I want. It's got a ding around on this side of the frame, and I have got other rear frame sections, so I'm going to change it out and get another one. I might even just grab a whole new frame. I've got about 3 or 4 frames down there, so I think I'll grab another one. But I'll go around and I'll give all this stuff a squirt once I get my pumper going. Like that. So a few days have passed since the last clip, and I've had some stuff come in for the M20, so we'll just pan through and have a look. This has been a pretty good haul. So I've purchased all these parts from Modak in Melbourne. Most people who are into British bikes and classic bikes would well know Modak. So I've got all this stuff from them. You can see gearbox and engine plates, rear brake pedal, footrest rod mounts, spring, steering damper, rear brake rod, some of the friction plates and that for the forks. So linkages, head stem, top yoke, and down here I've got I've gone and bought new oil filters. They're studs for the mount plates and nuts and things like that. They're always handy to have, so I did have a bit of a buy up at the wholesalers there. Also bought a magnetic plug sump. Nice looking piece of kit, and not over the top money either. So a lot of these parts are still sporting their original olive drab military paint on them. And I do have a few other things coming. I think I have, what is it? I think an oil tank and a rear stand. And I think that would just about cover everything that I need at this stage. What else I've been doing is this engine over here. Last customer engine I'll do. This one's a 1949, and we've had that up and running yesterday. Runs really, really well, as it should. The only issue is you probably just see underneath the carby, it's got the, I need to pull the needle and seat out and give it a lap. It's just got a bit of a leak out of the carby that I'm not happy with. But I'll get that finished today, and that'll be it. So it's come up nicely, hasn't it? Vapor blasted by Dave Perrin at Vapor Blast Restoration Solutions. He also blasted it and painted the barrel. Looks terrific. He'll be happy. So I think that'll just about do it for this video. Once I get that engine done, I'm going to bring the race bikes in, and sorry, I'm just going to finish off the chain guard on the Jawa, which I've nearly done. Actually, I should show you. I think it's here. Yeah, that's it, mocked up in there. But the issue I've got, if it's an issue, it sort of has to be rigid mounted to this here. So I've got to have enough clearance, so I'm trying to work out how much suspension travel I would have. But I was also thinking of mounting it down a bit closer and mounting it off the bottom of the shock, but there's not an awful lot of clearance in there to put a mount in. So I'll have a think about that one and get that painted up. But that's the last job on the Jawa. It's running really well, and that'll mean it's all ready for registration, which I won't do until later on in the year. And yes, after that I'll bring the race bikes in. So yeah, get these couple of little jobbies out of the way, which only take a couple of days, and then pull these race bikes down and see what's happened to it. So the M20 is not actually, then after the finish the Jawa, is not the next bike I'm going to do. It's actually going to be a Z250 Kawasaki. So a guy I do a bit of work for, who's a panel beater, has offered to spray the bike, but he sent me some. I said the colour, I couldn't find the Kawasaki colour for it, and I said, I reckon it's this Mazda colour. So he's just sent me the like the sample sheet for the Mazda colour, and it is spot on. It's in the plastic bag, but it's a metallic red. So it's as close as the F word is to swearing, I can tell you. So I'm pretty happy about that. So yes, I'll be bringing the getting the race bikes done, or at least one of them. Bring the Kawasaki in, we'll do a pull down on that. So there's still plenty going on, even though I'm not doing any customer work. So I think, as I said before I started waffling on, I think that'll do it. So a big thank you to all my subscribers, and once again, most of the people who watch do not subscribe, but even if you don't, hit like. You know, it doesn't cost you anything, and it's really helpful. So from Bones at BSA Bantams, I'll see you later.